Hey guys, it's Nurse Jay at Nursing the Truth, and I hope everyone is having a great Friday. Well, I am, and I just got off of work from the hospital, and here I am again nursing the truth with you guys today. So, what am I going to be talking about today? But first, let's see if I got the volume turned up because, well, I didn't. Because some people were saying that my volume wasn't up good enough, so I had to double check that. So, thank you for all of the great comments. Keep them nice and sweet. And if they're not, keep them short too. I try not to, comment back on negative sites because I do not like to harbor negative energy. So, with that being said, let's dig on into this evening's great teaching. Now, as always, I've always said research and do your history lessons, children. Nurse J is nursing you to truth and reality about things. Now, as I have here in front of me is the Holy Bible, Helios, Biblios, the story of the Sun Book. It does have some truth to it, but it is veiled with a bunch of lies, and you have to do surgery to get the truth and the real meat and bones of the matter. Now, as I've told you before, I am not a religious person. I do not subscribe to Judaism, Christianity, or Islam. I'm a spiritual person. I go with the teachings and the spirituality of the Egyptian spiritualism. I do not worship, per se, a Egyptian god. Now, when I say God Thoth, God Anubis, Goddess Bastet, those particular deities have the attributes of the prime. Now, have you heard about a divine council? You question and you say, divine? Why does the divine need a council? Well, in your King James Bible that Judaism goes off of, the Old Testament per se, their Tanakh, 5 books of Moses that was not written by him, the Pentateuch. Pentagram, 5. Isn't that funny? But anyway. Back in the late 20s, early 30s, they found a bunch of tablets in Ugarit, which was in Syria, which was in the land of Canaan. And they found thousands of cuneiform tablets that showed these gods, as in El and his wife named Asherah. And when the people, the Jews of today, or whenever they came together, they started worshiping Yahweh in the 6th century, post-Babylon exile. This is all free for you to go and look up in Wikipedia, in Encyclopedia Britannica, in your computer. If you want to free yourself, please do it tonight. Be saved from brainwashing tonight. And thank me later, if you haven't already. So, they take this Yahweh that was actually El, and they put the attributes to Yahweh as he was Big Daddy Cheese Man riding in the sky. So when you look at your King James Version, what that was really attributed to El. They stole and took it from and put it to Yahweh. Because the Israelites were really Canaanites. And they worshipped El. They got done of El. And they said, we just want your son to worship. So we'll just take everything from you, Big Daddy Papa, and we'll put it on Baby Boo. Now, a divine council is an assembly of deities over which a higher level God presides. The concept of a divine assembly or council is attested in the archaic Sumerian, Akkadian, Old Babylon, Ancient Egypt, Babylonian, Canaanite, Israelite, Celtic, Ancient Greek, Ancient Roman, and Nordic pantheons. Wow, that's a lot of divine councils. And we got a divine council in Israel? What? By a monotheistic God? Now, the ancient Egyptian literature reveals the existence. Now, we are talking thousands of years ago. Sumerian and Egyptian were the oldest. Of a synod of the gods. And some of our most complete descriptions of the activities of the divine assembly are found in the literature from Mesopotamia. Their assembly of the gods, headed by the High Anu of the Annunaki, would meet to address various concerns, dear truth seekers. The term used in Sumerian to describe this concept was Ukkin, Ukkin, and in later Akkadian and Aramaic was Paru, Puhru. Now, in the Sumerian cultures, one of the first records of a divine council appears in the Lament of We're talking about the of Chaldees, Mesopotamia, the Sumer, the Babylonian area, the Abraham man, where the pantheon of the Annunaki is led by An, with Ninhursag and Enlil also appearing as prominent members. And where's Enki, the father of humanity, modern man? So at least we got a good girl on our pantheon, Ninhursag, mother. Now, but in Akkadian, the divine council is led by Anu, Ninlil, and Enlil. Remember, at that time, Enlil had a higher number than Enki. He was 50, and Enki was 40. And Anu gave Enlil the rank. But then Marduk got the number 50 like Enlil and took over. Now, read that story when you have time tonight. In Old Babylon, the pantheon was Shamash, and Adad chaired the meetings of the divine council. Utu Shamash had a twin, Anhana. The leader of the ancient Egyptian divine council of gods is considered to be either Thoth or Ra, who were known to hold meetings at Heliopolis, which is called the city of the sun in Greek. But before Greek, it was called the city of An, A-N, city of Anu. Isn't that interesting? You learn things tonight. But it comes with reading and understanding. Now, in the Babylonian Divine Council of the Gods, Marduk appears in the Annunaki as presiding over a divine council, dividing and deciding fates and dispensing divine justice. Wow. You must read the Annunaki. Fates and justice. Text from Ugarit. Give a detailed description of the divine council structure, of which El and Baal are presiding gods. Hebrew. They love to steal. In the Hebrew Bible, there are multiple descriptions of Yahweh presiding over a great assembly of the heavenly host. Some interpret these assemblies as examples of divine council, just like I did a video on that yesterday. The Old Testament description of the divine assembly all suggest that this metaphor for the organization of the divine world was constant and consistent with that of Mesopotamia and Canaan. One difference, however, should be noted that the Old Testament, the identities of the members of the assembly are far more obscure than those found in other descriptions of these groups, as in their polytheistic environment. The Israelite writers sought to express both the uniqueness and the superiority of their God, Yahweh. I hope this is sinking in, because like I told you, Yahweh is not the creator of the universe. Just like in the book of Psalms 82:1 that I read you yesterday, and the Elohim stands in the divine assembly. He judges among the gods. The meaning of the two occurrences of Elohim has been debated by scholars, with some suggesting both words refer to Yahweh, while others propose that the God of Israel rules over a divine assembly of other gods or angels. Some translations of the passage render God Elohim stands in the congregation of the mighty to judge the heart as God. And the Hebrew is Ben-Eriv Elohim, in the midst of the gods, and the word Karev, if it were in the plural, would mean internal organs. But later in this psalm, the word gods is used in the KJV in 82:6. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. Instead of gods, another version has God-like beings. But here again, the word is Elohim. Strong's Concordance H430. This passage is quoted in the New Testament in John 10:34. And in the book of Kings, 1 Kings 22:19, the prophet Micah has a version of Yahweh sitting among the whole host of heaven. Standing on his right and on his left, he asked, well, had to split that phone call up. It was my son. I'll call him in a minute. Okay, and he asked, who will go entice Ahab and a spirit volunteers? This has been interpreted as an example of a divine council. So, the sons of God in the book of Job is also divine councils. Now, let's go to the Chinese. And in Chinese theology, the deities under the Jade Emperor were sometimes referred to as a celestial bureaucracy. Now, the Celtic mythology, most of the deities are considered to be members of the same family. Tuatha De Danann. Family members include goddesses Danu, Bridget, Armid, Morrigan, and others. Gods in the family include Agma, Dagda, Lu, and Gobinu. So there again, we see a divine council of gods. Ancient Greek. Zeus and Hera preside over the divine council in Greek mythology. And the council assists Odyssey, Homer, Odysseus. Ancient Rome. Jupiter presides over the Roman pantheon, who prescribes punishment on Canaan in Ovid's Metamorphoses, as well as punishing Argos and Thebes in Thebaid by Statius. And the Norse, these are mentions in the sagas in the Norse. And Thor being forced through rivers. However, although the word Regan usually refers to the gods, Regin, and in some occurrences of Riganpin, it may be simply an intensifier meaning great, as in a modern Icelandic rather than indicating a meeting of the divine councils. So all of this information that I'm giving you is from wikipedia.org. So you must understand what a divine council is and who and what are the players. So in my studies, I will be giving you verses from the actual Ugaritic texts of the divine councils, where the Ugaritic Syrian Canaan people said El was this. And I will show you where the El in the Canaanite pantheon of the assembly of the gods, where the people, the scribes that wrote the Hebrew scriptures in the Babylonian exile and made Yahweh the high God, how they stole from El. Gonna be a very interesting series. Might take 2 or 3 different videos. Nurse J will be working on that for you guys this weekend. So, another informative video just to let you know that Yahweh is not the creator of the universe. He is not, it is not, he, she is not the prime all of the universe. So, do not take this as your life and put all your money into it. And do not give all of your contributions to the church for them spilling out lies, people, because they know this information. So until then, until next time, all my truth seekers, comment, share, like, subscribe, and hit the notification button if you like. Tell all your friends and family about me. And to all my new subscribers, thank you so much. To all my brothers and sisters, and you know who you are. So let's all get along. Let's work together for the good of mankind before we get turned into robots, my friends. LOL. So have a nice evening, and I will be bringing you a little bit more information on what I found last night. Hotep, Ashe, Thoth says, when you're always searching for the truth and you find the truth, then the truth will set you free, my friends. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.